the same material used by firefighters. The UV glove provides thermal protection up to 480 degrees. The UV glove is also great for jobs around the home. Remove hot light bulbs. Great for welding or soldering, even arranging logs in the fireplace. And it's machine washable. Save your fingers. Get the UV glove. You'll love it.
The UV glove's available at Kmart, Walgreens, Eckerd Drug, drugstore.com, and participating Ace, Do It Best, and True Value hardware stores. Makes a great gift.
TJ Maxx, it's the ultimate shopping. It's finding everything you never knew you needed
without ever setting foot in a mall.
And now there's no better time to shop at TJ Maxx. Hurry in today for the store-wide clearance event, where you'll find incredible savings of 40 to 70% in every department for you, your family, and home.
It's getting a $100 designer skirt for $35.
What more could a girl want?
The store-wide clearance event going on now at TJ Maxx.
You should go.
It's the Lincoln Year Beginning event. Now through January 6th, get special savings on the sporty 2002 LS or the powerful 2003 Navigator. That's right. Now through January 6th only, you can get the agile 2002 Lincoln LS with 0% APR financing for 5 full years and $2,000 cash back. While you're there, be sure to preview the all-new 2003 Aviator. There are those who travel and those who travel well.
If you see news in the making, give us a call in Miami-Dade. Our hotline is 305-477-2444.
And in Broward, 954-463 News.
Finally at 6, an offbeat alternative to the Big Apple drop and the orange and Big Orange Rising.
Listen to this. In Key West, thousands ushered in the new year with a drop of the popular local drag queen named Sushi. The female impersonator, riding a gigantic red slipper, descended from a second-story balcony located along the Bourbon Street pub just when you think you've seen it all.
Only in Key West. That's our news for now. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here at 11 o'clock for CBS 4 News Tonight.
Tonight's headlines. U.S. forces in gun battle with what are supposed to be Pakistani allies. More U.S. combat troops heading for the Persian Gulf. Concern and confusion over FBI manhunt. Also tonight, is this man the Democrats' best hope for winning back the White House? A new security threat. Eye on America shows you how easy it is to snatch sensitive information right out of the air. And it's good. What do you call this stuff? There's a lot riding on the answer.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
And good evening. Dan is off tonight. I'm Russ Mitchell. New Year's Day 2003 found thousands of U.S. troops on duty in Afghanistan, just as they were 1 year ago. Engagements with the enemy are rarer now, but American soldiers remain very much in harm's way, as demonstrated by the latest clash in eastern Afghanistan on the border with a lawless province of Pakistan. As correspondent Bob Ord tells us, it illustrates yet again how difficult it can be in that part of the world to tell friend from foe.
The incident happened Sunday along the Afghan-Pakistan border, about 150 miles south of Kabul. U.S. officials say soldiers from the 82nd Airborne were patrolling with special forces, preparing to destroy munitions found inside Afghanistan, when a gunman wearing the uniform of the Pakistani border guard approached.
Our guys told him, hey, you need to move away from us. And as he moved away, he lingered for a moment, I guess, to talk to someone else.
Then, instead of returning to the Pakistani side of the border, says Army spokesman Steve Clutter, the gunman pointed his automatic weapon at the Americans.
And then kind of got into a crouching position and fired on our position.
One U.S. soldier was wounded, grazed in the back of the head, as the gunman and several other Pakistani guards fled to a nearby religious school. U.S. commanders called in an F-16, which dropped a 500-pound precision-guided bomb on the building to end the skirmish. The brief firefight happened near the same border area where a U.S. soldier was killed 11 days ago in a clash with al-Qaeda or Taliban sympathizers. A region marked by lawlessness and governed by tribal lords is a hotbed of anti-American sentiment. And retired Army Colonel Mitch Mitchell says that ensures more trouble for U.S. troops.
It's going to be a continuing problem, not just in the border areas, but throughout Afghanistan.
The American soldier wounded in the latest attack is recovering and is in stable condition in a German hospital. But U.S. authorities warn other casualties are likely as troops continue to dig out pockets of resistance in an area where it's hard to tell allies from enemies. Bob Orr, CBS News, Washington.
Pakistan's border with Afghanistan is not the only place in Afghanistan dangerous for U.S. troops. Later in the broadcast, we'll tell you what happened when American soldiers were caught in the crossfire between rival warlords. Authorities in Yemen said today they've detained scores of Muslim militants in their hunt for those behind Monday's deadly attack at a missionary hospital. A gunman killed 3 Americans and wounded a 4th. A suspect is behind bars. Yemeni officials who questioned him say they believe a terrorist cell is plotting more such attacks. United Nations arms inspectors spent this New Year's Day on the job in Iraq. Meanwhile, the Pentagon said it is sending to the region thousands more troops of the U.S. Army's 3rd Infantry Division from Fort Benning and other Georgia bases. It is the single biggest U.S. deployment in the ongoing buildup for possible war with Iraq. Lee Cowan in Baghdad has the latest on the showdown with Saddam.
The latest call-up of more than 11,000 infantry soldiers, including their tanks and attack helicopters, will be the first full deployment of a U.S. combat division in the region since the Gulf War. They'll join some 4,000 troops already on the ground in Kuwait and will add to the 60,000 U.S. personnel in various places around the Gulf. The buildup comes as Iraq is suggesting further talks with the UN. Hans Blix, the chief UN weapons inspector, has reportedly accepted an invitation to return to Baghdad personally before making any final decision on Iraq's cooperation. This, as some of his inspectors here have been called gangsters by the Iraqis.
We suddenly found them in the offices, actually.
At this industrial contracting company, workers complained the inspectors went so far as to rummage through women's purses and personal briefcases.
Do you think that's going a little too far?
They have stretched it a little bit too far this time.
Since arriving here more than 5 weeks ago, the UN has kept the pressure on. New Year's Day saw 4 more inspections, including this military electronics company. In contrast, many Iraqis tried to enjoy their holiday. It was all smiles today at Baghdad's amusement park. The inspectors' next report is due at the UN at the end of this month, although the inspectors say it could take them well into early summer before they really complete their work. But just in case the U.S. isn't willing to wait that long, many families here have already started stockpiling food, preparing for the worst, even in the face of what today seemed like a pretty good day. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Baghdad.
Americans have been on edge this holiday week after the FBI said it is searching for at least 5 foreign men who allegedly entered the U.S. illegally. Now, as Byron Pitts reports, there are growing concerns about just who these wanted men really are.
If the FBI got it right, at least 5 Middle Eastern men using these photographs entered the U.S. illegally through Canada on or around Christmas Eve. Their whereabouts unknown, their intentions unknown. But according to this Pakistani jeweler, they got the wrong man in one of the photographs. An AP photographer took this picture today of Mohammed Ashgar at his jewelry store in eastern Pakistan. Except for the scraggly beard, it's a near perfect match of the photo included on the FBI list under the name Mustafa Khan Owazi, down to the mole on Ashgar's cheek. Ashgar admits he tried entering Great Britain 2 months ago using forged documents, but he was deported back to Pakistan.
Yeah, you're gonna have to open up your phone.
Still, from New York's Times Square to major cities across America, police departments and federal investigators remain on heightened alert. They, along with Canadian investigators from Toronto to Vancouver, looking for up to 19 people, including the FBI 5, in connection with an alien smuggling ring with possible ties to al-Qaeda terrorists.
Here in New York City, we've disseminated the pictures of those 5 individuals. Again, they're not wanted for any specific event or any specific threat. They're just people that the FBI and certainly other federal authorities and other law enforcement authorities want to speak to.
Now in 2003, it's all part of the new post-9/11 America, say terrorism experts. Any potential threat to the U.S. is now taken seriously, and the northern border presents special problems.
Canada today represents the Achilles heel of the United States. It is a largely undefended border.
Investigators have conducted raids in New York and elsewhere across the country, searching for those 5 men believed to have entered the U.S. illegally through Canada. The FBI said from the beginning the names may not match, and there's now possible evidence the pictures might not match either. Byron Pitts, CBS News, New York.
Rescuers in Mexico's port city of Veracruz search today for more victims of a New Year's Eve fireworks fire. The The fire ignited by an explosion in a row of illegal fireworks